I gotta say, Tony Wright. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Tony Wright.
That's a great example of what happens if you can get your carry farmed, regardless of how well the rest of the game is going. If you're one person who can one-shot the entire team, you might still win.
You might still win the video game. So Darcy smartly being banned away from Divine Vendetta here. So Team Queso taking his game seriously so far based on the bans. And a net being taken away by Divine Vendetta. I wonder what they're going to go. I'm going to look at their past stats here and see what their tendencies are.
This ought to be, I would think, an Elsu being removed, something along those lines. I think an Elsu should be a focus, but they go for a target ban both times. A net away from Memorized, Superman away from Yavex in the side lane. This means that Team Queso have to make a choice.
Ooh, yeah,
they are going to let Elsu through. There it goes. Well, you barely even see it happen on screen.
Instant.
Yeah, I thought they were going to pick Varus because they actually have kind of prioritized Varus on their squad and performed well with Varus. But instead, they're going to like, you know what? Else is open. We're going to try him again.
But Team Queso, they say, what about Team Sephora? 2 halves or 2/3 of the Immortal comp. If they get that Zenial as well, it's going to be darn near impossible to kill any member of their team. Divine Vendetta have a chance to deny this. They also have a chance to pick up that Varus you just said they prioritized. 2 more picks going their way.
Yeah, this is very nice. They do prioritize Sephora every time they have a chance to first pick her. And that is one of Team Queso's signature first phase picks. Always usually that Sephora here. So what is Divine Vendetta going to pick into this? I think picking dominant side laners like Varus would make a lot of sense. I feel like Omen is interesting because I feel like Varus is a better pick overall because she just provides so much more in a team fight situation versus what an Omen can do.
The Omen does get locked in, though, over the Varus we were both asking for. 09 has an opportunity to get the Varus, but it would be kind of character stacking at this point. This should probably be something down in the bottom or support role, and it will be Elsu, presumably playing that bottom lane with Crest in support. Yeah,
potentially support, but they can always flex him to the dragon lane and then put Elsu in the mid lane.
I want mid lane.
Mid lane crush, rank breaker, mid lane crush. However, this is so concerning based on the draft because there's still a lot of power picks like Varus that we talked about. So of course they're going to pick up one of the most powerful Dark Slayer laners in the game right now. Don't forget that Till Honest is also still open. That means they can ban it away if it's not. They can ban away from Team Queso for picking it in the Dragon Lane.
And if TQ can get that Zenial, they have the Immortal comp.
Oh, yeah.
Though it would overlap with Varus and Rolling, you could play it down in the Dragon Lane and it would still work.
Yeah, and Varus is pretty immortal herself, so it makes her double unkillable.
Nice.
Okay, so Tulin is going to become the first of our second wave of bans.
That Tulin very powerful in the mid lane, and given that they already have the Sephora presumably to play that role with the teaming and support, Team Queso can focus on getting rid of a mage with no fear of overlapping with their own pool.
Lindis hasn't been banned out yet. We quite often get a Lindis ban.
Yeah, Lindis, if Lindis isn't banned and Team Queso gets Lindis,
they have such a good draft if that comes through.
The Immortal comp will make another chance at showcasing its power to us.
That was a little bit lost steam there.
I thought it was quite dramatic. I thought it was trying to be dramatic.
Well, so are Team Queso, if they can get this full draft through. Instead, they ban the flexibility of the Rioma. That says to me that they are looking at perhaps grabbing that Lindis. And Divine Vendetta will lock out a Morin, putting Lindis up available.
More afraid of the Valheim and Morin than they're afraid of the Lindis. And we know Ibuchichi.
We know Lilu.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know Lilu as well.
But Ibuchichi, last time these teams met, Ibuchichi played Rioma both games.
Yeah.
So the fact they banned out the Rioma leads me to believe they're looking at drafting the Lindis for jungle on him. Instead, they're going for Kriknak, the dive from the jungle on Ibuchichi.
Yeah, I mean, Kriknak makes more sense for Ibuchichi because Lilu likes to play range. Even though he can play every hero pretty well, we know he uses jungle assassin. So, but in terms of their composition, they always like putting Lilu on an ADC in that Dragon Lane.
A lot of options cycled through there for Fico. I think they're looking for a mage that will give them an unexpected edge. I'd look for a Kali as opposed to a more standard Liliana, because to be blunt, they're losing this draft so far and they need to change it up. The poke from a Kali would do well into the Sephora. I've also seen arguments for a Gilder, but I don't quite believe.
I knew as soon as they flipped Blast Gilder, you wouldn't help but
I couldn't help it. Yeah.
I think Alistar would be great because he can lock down the Kriknak if he tries to jump in the back line there. So if they pick Alistar, I like that. But Jinnar, they're going to go ahead and pick Jinnar.
A little bit of dive defense there as well.
But we know Jinnar works pretty well with Crash. Dive defense, not only dive defense, but also a nice engage if they get a good metamorphosis off.
And so they don't necessarily need the Alistar defense because they have the Omen. The Omen's Death's Embrace, Death's Beacon also function to interrupt a speedy Kriknak, and you have the solid double defense duo of Crash Jinnar with the Nakroth also able to dive in.
Yeah.
They're putting a lot of emphasis on keeping this Elsu safe. It does mean Z will have to step up on the character though. Yeah,
is Lilo going to pick Telannis here, or is he going to pick Joker?
Or Lindis?
Lindis could work as well.
Sideline.
What is he going to opt for? Marja! Oh, yeah, we forgot. His Marja is phenomenal. I did the second most damage on the team when he played it. He was basically baiting and engaging with Varus or Roxy. Sometimes Javix also on Roxy. But the way that both of them engaged together distracted the enemy team and then allowed their backline or their jungler and mage to do what they needed to do.
And in a match, I think, with this much CC engaged, with this many stuns available, the Ghost Walk is maybe a better tool than anything a Lindis has to stay alive against all that dive.
So that's why there's no kind of traditional marksman pick on that side.
Yeah, and don't forget, Varus and Marja have a lot of sustain. They're really strong side laners because of their ability to sustain themselves in the side lane and also in team fights. So if Divine Vendetta bunches up a lot against them, then Varus and Marja are going to get the maximum output from the AoE damage that they give, and also a lot of all the lifesteal and sustain that they have as well. So that's going to be a pretty scary team fight engage from Team Queso there.
Drafts have worked out pretty well, given that the bans I thought were a little bit of a strange start.
I think Divine Vendetta have put all their eggs in one Elsu-shaped basket.
Okay.
And if that Elsu never comes online, like we've seen previously, if Z is unable to hit the snipes, then they'll lose.
I don't really want to see that Elsu in the hands of Z.
And Kriknak is scary. He's fast. His drone drop ultimate gives him so much move speed, and he can just literally just drop onto you, and you're dead. So he's actually more nimble and agile than the Zephyrs is. So he's a little more scary to deal with if you are a Dragon Lane ADC, because Kriknak can get on you easy.
That's a worry. That's a worry. I mean, Elsu's got range, of course. A lot of it with the snipes. Gotta land him.
Yeah, gotta land him.
All right, so let's hope that Z can do that. And as we highlighted earlier on, that the team can support her to get that job done. Divine Vendetta look for a win. Queso look to be #1 EU.
Team Queso have looked so good so far. I find it hard to suddenly flip against them, but we can see Divine Vendetta definitely working through their troubles from previous weeks.
And hopefully they're able to get to their troubles, especially with Z here, making sure that those snipes are going to land and she's going to contribute to these fights as this Elsu here. The interesting thing, too, about the side laners, TJ, is Marja and Varus, they actually have more lifesteal the less HP that they have. So they're very super high sustain side laners.
And that super high sustain will help them in team fight. But I am a little bit worried about the pure burst potential from Divine Vendetta. If they get that Jinnar Crash duo with some snipes and Mathroy diving in to finish off stragglers, it may not matter how much sustain you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Burst is the name of the game.
If they can make it work, Divine Vendetta are already struggling as Lilu will barely get the kill on Diffu.
What a play. Again, the way he plays Marja, he's so good. He understands the utter limits of this hero. The way he's engaging, disengaging, using her Dark Pulse, all of her abilities. It's just fantastic to watch, like, how good Marja can be.
Yavex brawling out as the snipes do begin to arc in. Z's doing a fair bit of damage here with Yavex low. It really does matter. He'll try and dodge with the Bloody Kiss, running for his life, but it's Ruiz who comes in with the water wall and finds the kill.
Yeah, what an engage with the water wall there. You can see a lot of them have used their flickers, and now they're going to take the dragon.
They'll focus the dragon. There is the possibility of stealing it. And Mathroy, he does exactly that. He even almost gets the kill on Ibuchichi.
Yeah, and that was worth it. And Yavex is going to fall as well.
An easy pickup for Z and Honine, playing carefully in that bottom lane.
That was huge for Divine Vendetta. That was worth it to sacrifice one death for that dragon there. And look at that. They're not that far behind. 5,000 gold to 5.8, and that's key. At least you're able to trade your death for a dragon. Beautiful play by Mathroy, nice decision-making by him.
Perhaps technical issues coming out from Divine Vendetta as they do call a pause. We'll see if they can resolve those quickly. During that time, let's talk a little bit more about win conditions if we can, because one of the things that we put a lot of emphasis on was Z staying alive in that bottom lane and the team backing them up. So far, to me at least, they've been doing a good job of that.
Yeah, and I appreciate what Z's doing. She's playing much more cautious. She's not getting overextended. She's getting her opponent low in Dragon Lane, because when your opponent is low, your opponent's side laner is low, then you have the ability to rotate if they try to rush Abyssal Dragon or try to potentially even get a gank on that person that's low. It gives you that advantage that you want, because whoever trades better wins the lane pressure.
It is Varus being played down in that bottom lane against an Elsu. They put the Marja up top. That's curious to me, because normally we've seen Ghost Walk used to dodge Elsu snipes.
Yeah, and also Marja works better because she's a range mage. She's a range mage that can kind of try to trade against the Elsu, but still very hard because Elsu has so much range. So it is curious to why they put Varys down in the Dragon Lane there against the Elsu. But we're going to be watching Elsu, making sure that she gets ahead on the farm, because right now 1.3 doing okay, but not great.
Hopefully the technical issues resolved as Divine Vendetta look to regain control of their own map. Mathroy's focusing on the golem down there, speeding up his farm. The rest of their team changes things up, though. Z's going up to the top lane. Yeah,
one thing Mathroy definitely needs to do as Necroth, and where I see Necroth win so hard, is he's so mobile, so fast. He needs to go across the map, get picks, and also steal farm. So if I don't see Mathroy start doing that as Necroth, I don't think they're going to come on top in this game.
Z stunned out up top, memorized dives. But Mathroy, he isn't there. They actually fed him that bot lane. I think Few may still be having technical issues. He hasn't moved in a while. They're giving Mathroy that farm down in the bottom lane in order to hyper-power their Necroth.
Yeah, they're very unfortunate, but still very smart moves there by allowing Z to go to the Slayer lane, and then they're farming down the bottom lane so they don't lose that farm, but O9 might be in trouble.
O9 will go down, and it will be Fico in the mid lane trying to hold.
Yeah, what a nice rotation there, catching out O9, trying to run to that Dragon lane and killing him.
Z will have to disengage away as Team Queso begin to push in, and Lilu as well on the side. He'll just go behind the tower. The Ghost Walk almost kills Z, and it sets it up for these Water Spirits, which nearly confirm the kill.
Yeah, 424 damage from that Water Spirit there. That is when Sephira starts to build a lot more damage, you will see that go up to even as high as 1,000.
Mathroy has to back out from the top lane, but he dances nicely around all that focus. Very good little smooth moves from him.
Yeah, I love Mathroy. He's so good on the assassin junglers. He likes playing like Roma. He's very proficient on it. But the key was definitely the weakness in his early game, which he's kind of making up for in this game.
That will be the mid lane successfully defended. Z down bottom. Get deleted though. Good emphasis from Lilu and Ibuchichi to find the kill. Ibuchichi assassinating on that jungler. Now Fico needs to hold. They've got the exuberance. That'll clear a wave. O9's not able to lock anyone down, though.
I love what Lilu does. The way he uses Ghostwalker is so great. He uses it offensively. He used it to damage Fico under his own tower and then just flickered away.
Mid-tower does go down. O9 in trouble. The Aquatic Leaf won't save him. These snipes do begin to check in, though. Clearing wave from range. Ghost Walk from Lilu will scare Fico back, but they don't get the kill.
Yeah, and again, an aggressive and an offensive Ghost Walk there. It was interesting why O9 didn't use the Metamorphosis. He had a Q and a Metamorphosis there, so he could have survived that burst damage that he got killed for.
Ibuchichi almost confirms the kill. Ruiz and him dived so far forward.
Yeah, that was close. And that Water Spirit was chasing him all the way. So the aggression showing from Ruiz and Ibuchichi. When these two are on the same page, CJ, nothing can stop them.
Few. The flicker. He does stay ahead of the chain lance. Memorized with a rare miss.
Yeah, that would have been close. If he landed, it would have been over.
Mathroy down bottom pokes in with Lilu. And the trade does go Lilu's way, but the snipes will scare him away. As Ibuchichi keeps diving. Few's still in trouble. O9 can't save him in time. He did have a Metamorphosis, but no one to use it on.
Yeah, he has not yet used the Metamorphosis at all in this game, and I feel like they need to group up. They need to take advantage of how well Crest shines in team fights, because Crest by himself doesn't really do much.
Mathroy in trouble. Ghost Walk, he's got the buff, he's got the damage, and he'll barely edge out Lilu in the trade. Now zooming away as Fico gets dropped in mid. Fico himself barely survives, but he's got 0-9 there to keep him safe.
Yeah, I love how Mathroy used the bush there, used his punish, get that extra damage to kill Lilu before he would fall there, so nice play.
The healing from that red golem he killed probably saved his life.
Yeah, probably indeed. Ibuchi's going to secure this Abyssal Dragon here. Going to put them continue further in the lead. They're at a kill every minute right now of the game. 22,000 gold. Pretty comfortable 7,000 gold lead right now ahead of Divine Vendetta.
Few in the top lane is having to drift back. You can see all of the tier 1 towers in all 3 lanes have gone over to Team Queso. And that's not a good sign, because it means all this jungle is easy to grab as well.
Yeah, what they need to do is rotate as a team here. Divine Vendetta needs to rotate as a 3 to 4 man team and protect their jungle. Do not let Team Queso deny and steal their jungle away. And if they rotate as that 3 to 4 man unit, as the jungle, before the jungle spawns, they can set up for a pick, because they know Team Queso is going to want to stay in their jungle like they are constantly here, and that can turn the game around for them.
Z will have to fall back. Onein's playing bodyguard for him. No Metamorphosis is used again, though. You are right. We've not seen the support player use that ult yet. Fico spends his own ultimate, scaring back Memorized, but not gaining too much as Few falls up top, and there's not much more to be said. Fico himself should be able to flicker to safety, but the Water Spirit will get the kill eventually. 0-9 in mid is caught out, and Ibuchichi's on the case. There's the Metamorphosis. Ibuchichi low, but no kills found as Mathroy goes down to Yavex in the top lane, and 0-9's chunked down.
Yeah, what a crazy engage. You can see how good Ruiz is on this Sephiroth here, landing those Water Spirits. You see the range of that enhanced basic attack. But the important thing is the split focus. Team Queso is doing a good job of split pushing and basically forcing Divine Vendetta to be split up from each other, because their comp works when they're together. The Jinnar, the Kresh, they need to stick together, and they're not. And there's no way I don't think they can win this game if they do not do these rotations they're doing. Like, this is exactly what they need to do right now. These 4-man rotations to take their jungle and make sure they're farming themselves up.
Z in the bottom lane, we didn't catch it. Did just get completely bullied out by Lilu, though. That's a good sign that Z was able to win that fight against Lilu, scaring him back. Few up top, though. He is being scared himself. The flicker. Oh, that was smooth. 0-9's in the area. Doesn't have hope, but he has everything else he needs.
What a nice zoning there. 0-9 did a good job pushing them away, so Fico could have that extra space to escape. But they got to be careful. They cannot overextend and get caught out like that, because they are the team that's behind. Every mistake they make is going to cost them so much.
Z has Lilu caught out. The auto attacks will be doing a lot of damage, but the Ghost Walk almost hurts the entire team. Oh my god! Lilu just dodges out, and now Divine Vendetta are split. 0-9 will spend his ultimate, but Mathroy's already caught out. Ruiz grabs 2 kills in the fight, with Fico being his second, and Z's just had to retreat back well behind the high ground. I don't think he can save 0-9, and neither do Team Queso.
Man, that was a 4 versus 2 initially, or actually 1 versus 3. And Lilu turns it around, but Z is in the fight and disappears.
He's so low. Ruiz with the dive. Can't quite confirm the kill. But the wave is here. Few has to save the game by clearing wave. He'll do exactly that, but the mid tower itself will fall.
Yeah, the mid tower is going to fall here, and there's so much pressure in mid and the bottom lane. What can Divine Vendetta do? They need to get a playoff, a pick right now.
They need to win a team fight right now. Fico can't do that, even with his ult. Drake's come in the top lane.
Yeah, you can see Lilu every single time distracting and using the Ghost Walk to escape and repeat.
Yavex, the dive, the focus. It's on to Z and Mathroy, and he's got them both low, but he can't confirm the kills. Fico stays alive. Now they've got Z, now they've got Mathroy, and now Team Queso have rushed forward for the game. The wave is clear, the wave is here, and it will be game number 1 to Team Queso if they can just end it. Few brawls out for a while. Now Memorized and Ruiz come through and take game number 1 to their favor.
And what a game it was indeed. Look at that, almost a 20,000 gold differential, the level disparity as well. Again, Lilu just dominating that dragon lane, but also Ibuchichi, the constant